Okay guys, welcome to the fifth tutorial, and here we will be implementing the logout functionality and also fix some bugs. So currently, if I run my app, and then there are some bugs that we have to address. First of all, the issue that okay uh, for example, if the user has logged in already, then on the back press we don't have to log in again, so just turn that on. So that thing, and also one more thing we want to add is, like, once the app runs, then I will show you the what is the issue. So let's say I log in, and once I log in, then I want to show you an issue that I'm facing. Yeah, this I have to like, my app should completely exit, right, instead of directing me to this sign up activity. But if I close the app, then I relaunch it, then hopefully it takes me to, yeah. So these are some bugs that we have to address, right, that I don't want to log in again and again. So first of all, what we will do is, we will go to our main activity, and over there take a variable, let in it var nav controller, and name it as nav controller. The type is nav controller. Okay, because remember this, guys, uh, this is our sign in activity, and this is our home activity, like home fragment, but this is hosted on main activity. Because if you don't understand navigation component, then it would be difficult for you to understand. This is our main activity, and here we are hosting different fragments. We are hosting chat fragment here, we are hosting setting fragment here, we are hosting home fragment here, but the activity is one and the fragments are different. This is where the navigation graph comes in, and I think if you don't know about that, you need to look at my previous tutorials. Anyways, so val nav host frag support fragment manager, find fragment id by id, nav host fragment, and this id is here. If you go into main activity, then we are hosting all of the fragments, the navigation graph, on this main activity, right? So going back to it, as nav host fragment. Okay, nav controller, nav host fragment, nav controller. Okay, now on back pressed, so we have to perform this, like we have to write this code whenever user clicks on back button. If support fragment manager back stack entry count is greater than 0, super back pressed, else if nav controller current destination is not null and the id is equal to the home fragment. If we are on the home fragment, then move task to back true, else super on back pressed. Okay, so that's with this code, oh wow, with this code what we will be able to do is whenever we click on back, then sign in activity will not show, but uh, the the app will completely exit. So let's just let it run on the background and work on something else. Yeah, okay, this also has to be annotated. Okay, and what we will do is, another issue is that when we are uh, clicking back press, then we have to log in again, so we have to address that. Once the display comes on, like, we can try. Okay, so we click back, and now our app is not directing us to the sign in fragment, and first task is done. And now we have to see, okay, yeah, that's great. So our code is working great. So unless I log it out from here, then there's a different story. But now when I click back press, go back here, app is launching. If I kill the app, relaunch it, and then we don't have to log in again. So that is great. This is what we had intended. Now what we will do is we will add our image here and also add the logout functionality. So we will go back to our home fragment where we were doing all of the work, and here let me see if I have initialized the Firebase auth. So we'll just go and say let init fb auth Firebase auth. Let's just go on view created, fb auth Firebase auth get instance. Okay, so we have taken this binding, so let's just home binding dot logout image view set on click listener fbauth dot sign out, and here we want to show let init home pd a progress dialog. Okay, and we can put it somewhere here, home pd progress dialog. Okay, and okay, maybe let's just leave that. Okay, so sign out activity, like sign out task is going to work. And also what we have to do while we are at it, we can go to our navigation graph and add some animations. So we can do is all the actions, right? Actions mean whenever we are going from one fragment to another fragment, we can add that. Okay, action these are some animations. You can do that later, but it's totally fine if you are doing it now. And another action. That's great. Now let's just display the image right here in the toolbar. Let's just display the image. So let's go here and let init toolbar and toolbar. Okay, and also let init image view. And also, if you remember, then all the user fragments, they have this click listener, right? So let's just implement it while we are here. On user, and if you see, we have declared this right in our adapter, so it is showing here. Let's just implement the method also. So that is for later, we can use this later. Okay, and now obviously this user adapter has to set on click listener this. Okay, so go to the toolbar maybe, and toolbar view, find view by ID, toolbar main, and circle image view toolbar because it is declared within. If you look at the layout, then the image view is within the toolbar, right? So TL image. Okay, that's good. Now what we have to do is binding, home binding, because we are using data binding, so lifecycle view owner has to be view lifecycle owner. And if I can take you to home fragment, and here you will see so this is where we are trying to inflate the image, right? We want to display the image here, right? So what we will do is I'll go to my view model, and we have to work on this one. So if we can get the information of a current user, so let's just create a method. And now what we will do is get current user. We can use Kotlin Coroutine. So our app is lightweight. And also let's just create for context to be global, that we can use it anywhere. We can create a class called my application and extend it with application. Let's just take companion object, let init instance of my application on create, have to import it. Super on dot create. Okay, instance is this, and we will go back to our manifest and add here the name my application. Now going back to the view model, context my application, instance application context. Now here once again we are getting the wall fires private wall firestore firebase.firestore. We are fetching the information of the user. So what we are going to do is firestore collection users. Now this is the catch here, because if in the list of users the document is equal to the whoever is logged in, then give us that information. So if I can take you to my Firebase console here, what we are saying is that if somebody is logged in and that user ID matches the document ID of this collection, then display. And obviously we can only log in one user at a time, right? So on one app, so obviously out of all these IDs only one ID is going to be similar to the document ID, right? So simply we are just fetching one person's information, whoever is logged in order to display the image. Okay, add snapshot listener, value error, if value exists and value is not null, then what it needs to do is value users value dot object now name value. We will come to this later, that why did I do that. For now we need the image, right? Username, image URL, users image URL, and also by using shared preferences, or maybe we will come to that later, or let's just do it. Because we need share preferences later. So private wall prefs shared preferences context get shared preferences my prefs context mode private, and here obviously we need the context. Okay, now we are just creating this math functions that we can use later. Value string, edit, put string, whatever the key is and whatever the value is, and apply. And for getting value, key string return string return prefs dot get string key, and the value initial value is null. Fun get set integer value, key string value is going to be integer again, prefs added dot apply. And again this is going to be get value, get int value, key is definitely going to be string, and the initial value is going to be okay I to int. Okay, that's it for here. We'll just go back and keep working on our view model. Val my shared prefs, and now here the class that we have created, passing the context, set value, username, users username. Okay, so what we have done is that if you look image URL, we have like used this image URL, and we have set the image of the current user to this mutable live data string, right? And if we come here, and what we simply have to do is, now you will see the magic here, home view model, user view model. Okay, yeah, user view model image URL, because we have already okay, and what we will do is observer. So glide with context, load it into circle image view. So let's take a pause and understand this. We are in the view model. We have taken this image URL as a mutable live data string, and we are getting the current user, whoever the user is. We are getting that information and storing it in these variables, and obviously we need the image for now. So we have taken whoever the user is logged in, we have taken that image and stored it in this, and because it's a mutable live data string, we can like set the value to it and also get the value from it. So this is what we have done in that. Again, by accessing our view model, we are getting the value by this observer function, and then just setting it on our image view. So that is what we have done. Now obviously this current user function has to be executed somewhere, right? Because this is not getting called. If this is not getting called, then it will not work. So in the initializing block of view model, we'll just get current user. So whenever the view model is getting triggered here, automatically this function is getting called also because the view model is being initialized. So let's just run the app, and I think we will be done with this tutorial. So our app is running. Let's wait. So our app is here, and hopefully we will be able to see our image view here, or maybe not, because I have not set it to, okay, yeah, it's here. So whoever is logged in, we are seeing that image here. Like we can do like clicking on it and like going to setting fragment and all that, but let's do that later. And if I click on this logout, then it needs to sign me out, but for some reason it has not. So let's check why. Notifying IDs, no. Okay, yeah, so okay, good. This is the problem. So once we have signed it out, then we want to go back to our sign in activity. We don't want the app to exit, right? So obviously I did not write the code for that. So what we do here is start activity, intent, require context. So we had successfully signed out, but this code was remaining. Okay, let's just restart the app. So since we had logged it out, that is why app is starting from here. If you remember, if we don't log it out, then app straightly goes to the main activity or home fragment, right? So let's just okay, here we are, and uh, whoever is logged in, image is here, great. We click on this, and now we are here. Click on back, and that bug will be fixing later, no worries about that. But this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so in this tutorial we have done quite a lot. See you in the next one.